I'm convinced this remote is. Oh, I knew it was in front of me. Hey, Trisha. Hey, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Welcome in. Sorry, you guys. I've had a slam schedule because I'm prepping for a big event here in Arizona. And so, unfortunately, I've literally been getting done so late at night with my team that it's like 11 or 12 o'clock at night when I get done. So, yeah. So I wanted to let you guys know where I've been at. I don't apologize because that's, I run a company. I'm not a content creator. So what I do isn't based around if I go live or not, unfortunately. Fortunately, that's a good thing, actually. So sometimes when I'm working with my clients, their sessions might run late, and I end up having to, of course, make sure their needs are met first. So I do deeply apologize for that, because I do enjoy making sure we get our reading together, but my clients are the priority, so I have to make sure, even if it, because what happens is I see my clients until a certain time, right? But then I have to meet with my team. So it's 7:47, so sometimes I might not be meeting with one of the people on my team till like 8 p.m. my time, which means it's already like 11 p.m. East Coast. So welcome in. How you guys doing? Good morning, good evening, good night. Good morning, good evening, or good night, depending on where you're located. Depending on your location, that'll depend on which one of those apply to you. Good evening, good morning, or good night. So welcome on in. I'm Kenya. My name is Kenya. If you new here, nice to meet ya. Nice to meet ya. If you're new here, nice to meet ya. If you're new here, nice to meet ya. Chicka, 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 chicka. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, we're just waiting for you guys. Is that you in the left photo? Yes, that's me. Ooh, I should definitely get my glasses. Oh, I see the squinting coming on, you guys. Oh, my gosh, I see the squinting. Oh, the TV's on. Okay. The TV had accidentally cut off, so I gotta kind of get our life together so we can get on our nice flow of gospel music before we do our reading. Thank you. Not perfect, just progressive. Just a progressive transformation. So thank you. Thank you so much, babes. Thank you. It's got a little gospel flow going. Now, grab your book. 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 Are you ready? Grab your book. Let's go. Time to read and talk to the Lord. And let him help him get it to the little brain. This make us thinking about the food and driving us insane. Let's do it. Let's do it. Sorry. How long did it take? 18 months. Give me 1 second. I gotta invite my team. I forgot. Sometimes I be here and I forget that my client, my team. I gotta go get them. I gotta let them know I'm live. Sorry, I had to let them know that I was live. Okay, you said how long? 18 months. I feel like my head is cut off. So I feel like I gotta sit like this. Thank you. How are you guys doing tonight? How are you doing? How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you, babes? Are you on a wellness journey? Hey, Instagram. How y'all doing? I'm talking to my peeps on the talk. Why is this not doing it? This is kind of stressing me out a little bit. Hold on, guys. I got a situation I'm trying to fix. It's not giving me an option. There it goes. Got it. Got it. Give me 1 second. Literally 1 second. Come on in. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. I don't have anything to drink. That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I have to. Oh, yes, I do. Wait a minute. I forgot that I filled my water stand. I have a hydration station next to my desk. I thought I was gonna need to go get some cranberry juice or something. Good evening. Sorry, I'm trying to text and send the link to my team. Hi, Kim. Hi, Opulent. How are you? It's so good to see you. How are you? I don't think we have anybody on the tube or the on the book. How's it going? Is it Kiki? Miss Kiki, hello, beautiful. Welcome in. Are you new? I'm Kenya. Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. But you got the collagen lotion? You did? Okay, excellent. I actually just put some on my hands, which for some reason, why is it that in the winter, like when you come between winter and summer, this part gets dry like that? Why does it do that? Is that from washing your hands? Because I do wash my hands a lot. Hold on, y'all. My shorts is trying to choke my thighs out, honey. We can't have that. I got to get that together. I can't process no information. I can't tap into the spirit of God if I'm about to choke to death with my thighs. Couldn't do it. They chopping off my spirit. That's why I don't know how y'all pull these shorts up and cock them between your coochie area right there. Because, baby, I'm telling you, when mine get right here where this thigh meat is. See, if you don't got no thigh meat right here, you don't know what I'm talking about. So scroll on by and call your mama. Don't call me. But if you got some thigh meat anywhere around this perimeter, and you put on a short with this thread right here, and you sit wrong too long, baby, and this thread be chewing your thigh to the heavens, baby. Let me tell you something. And I don't got on no girdle. This is me natural. I keep telling you I'm really good at this. See, you know how normally it's like so much excess? Look. I'm not sucking anything in. £479 total. So of course I don't worry about my skin. Look at that photo and look at me now. You think I'm pressed? Not at all, y'all. Zero pressed. Zero pressed. Yeah, I was literally dying. I'm alive. I'm zero pressed to be in that circumstances. I will take this sag over any lag. Do you understand me? Do you understand? Machines was breathing for me. Do you understand? I will take this sag over any lag, any lack in my body. I will rather have this sag over the lack in my body. I don't care what you're talking about. And I don't want no lack. I don't want to be short of breath when I drop down to the ground. I want to drop down here and pop around just because I can. I don't want to be too broken and stuck in my own body in no moment ever again. I'm done doing that. So whatever you're doing, you do. You happy where you are, please. Don't worry about me. I'm not that type of coach that's going to force you to exist in a space that you don't want to be in. I'm not going to talk crazy, you dog, you down or nothing. But baby, what I am going to tell you the truth, baby, I was battling in that picture. Baby, it's real suffering in that picture. Real live suffering. The least of my worries is my actual skin. My biggest worry is my brain. The food was never my problem. It was always my brain. I just didn't know that then. People kept trying to convince me that all I needed to do was go to the gym and work out more. But no one could talk to me about the things that were happening actually in my body physiologically that were being driven by my brain when it came to chewing and food. But I can tell you now. That's why you got to get your seat in that masterclass on the 23rd. Because people have to understand this. This takes time and energy to research, study, and put in the actual workbook. Because you got to be able to go back to it and reference to it. Because hearing it one time won't be enough. Because I've been doing this 11 years. I've been looking at the same stuff and the same cycles over and over for 11 years. And every year at the beginning of the year, I teach a similar course like this about the in-depthness of dopamine, cortisol levels, food noise, true hunger, and the habit loop cycle that comes with craving and food addiction. There's a science happening. There's something happening in the neurotransmission in your brain related to actual emaciation. And I didn't say food, I said emaciation, chewing. So helping and allowing a pathway for individuals to get more knowledge and more access to break the bondage that's keeping them stuck in this loop of restricting, trigger, reward, guilt, shame, restricting, trigger, behavior / reward, remorse, guilt, shame, back to restricting. You restrict a while, then you go out, overdo it, and you go back to restricting, counting, watching, tracking, counting, only to be triggered by something, people, places, or things, only to end up back in the middle of that trigger. That trigger leads to the behavior or the cue. The cue cuts on the craving comes in, the behavior interacts. You act on the behavior, you carry it out, and immediately following the behavior, it results in some form of shame, remorse, regret. Well, because of that shame or remorse or regret that you feel, you denounce food for the rest of your existence. You're not ever eating or breathing food again. So you go back to that restrictive cycle at the beginning. You're running through a loop. You are on a cycle. It's just not the one you think. You're on a cycle. It's just not the one you think. Okay? So remember what we've been doing is we've been using the word and the application of dangerous prayers in our program, on our journey, to apply it directly to utilizing our faith and our direct line to God to help us see and better understand what's happening in our brain when it comes to the reasons, that we actually eat. Many of us have created a culture and kind of a presence around food, and we can't just walk away from that. We have to take the time and the opportunity to acknowledge that it's become a part of who we are. So it makes it difficult to just stop eating, just stop. Because what's happened is there's a lifestyle engulfed around the actual nature that's created this kind of prolonged, inevitable journey of obesity. You don't wake up obese. Habits are created that equal an expression that's physicality of obese habits or restricting. Because you can restrict the body and then not eat well when you do eat, and you can still be heavy. So you're balancing between this thing that's actually going between, it's actually going between your body and your mind. But you think it's the food that you're eating. No one cookie ever hurt anybody. Well, unless you're diabetic, I guess they can put you out the game. But no one cookie or one potato chip ever hurt or killed or caused anyone to gain 500 pounds. But multiple bags of those chips over years and even months, ate in excess, equated to weight gain. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why when you try to wake up on Monday and expect to lose 90 pounds by June, it's very hard or difficult unless you do something extremely restricting, because you have to suppress all the nervous system urges that may be occurring. Give me 1 second. So essentially, you really want to start to get a better understanding of what triggers make you feel a desire to eat. Okay? When you apply the process that Pastor Craig takes in his book to surrendering over your wellness journey in a more spiritual and kind of faith-based way, instead of it making it being about instead of making it be about how much you can punish yourself or restrict yourself from these things you love, sugar, salt, whatever. What if you looked at it as a spiritual renewalness, where you're asking God to take away the desire, urges, or cravings that are connected to the emotional irregularities that may be happening for you in your body? Because remember, if it's a brain-based disease being driven off, maybe, let's say, uncomfortableness, or maybe our dysregulation in our body. Maybe we feel uncomfortable about something. Maybe we feel lonely, and that loneliness is triggering some anxiousness, and that anxiousness is triggering my need to chew, because when I'm anxious, I chew. And now here I am wanting to eat something when I wasn't even hungry, but it really isn't that I'm hungry, it's that I'm anxious. And because I chew to feel unanxious, I'm going to chew to become unanxious. So I might reach in my purse and get some gum if I don't have a snack. So I'm going to chew the gum until that same sensation that I was going to seek by eating food is now calming. The more I chew, the more I calm, because chewing calms me down, right? This is an example. Or for example, I might reach in my purse and get some hard candy and chew it, because the crunchy sound in my ear may cause a relaxation to occur. So I may get comfortable with the crunch sound. So when I'm stressing, I may seek a slider snack like a chip and be able to eat a lot of those chips, not thinking, because I'm eating until I get comfortable instead of eating for just enjoyment. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm eating to actually feel FEE better instead of just eating a little handful to enjoy it. So the snack has become my kind of my medicine, my coping strategy. It's my medicine. I'm using that to get to the other side of the problem. The problem is it doesn't keep that anxiousness calm long enough, so I find myself restricting to avoid over snacking, and then when I do eat, I'm overeating in order to avoid snacking after the meal. So I think order a lot, eat it all, and I won't want more later, but I end up wanting more because I was never eating just to get full. I was eating to get the feeling. Okay? So that body's craving to feel better is real. And it just so happens that we've been taught from birth to utilize chewing to feel better, from sucking on a bottle. When babies cry and they're small, we give them a bottle, and often they stop crying. And just like that, the sensation of something going down my throat as early as straight out the womb from crying. I've been taught that I can suck and swallow and I'll magically feel better. A baby. Do you understand? Thank you so much, beautiful. Do you understand how deep it is? All the way back to a baby. Because a baby can't communicate. So a bottle is used as a form of communication. It's an innate object with a substance coming out of it, causing a soothing effect when it goes down into the baby's mouth and down its throat. As an infant, nourishment in the bottle is kind of tertiary compared to what happens in the beginning. The baby doesn't stop crying once the milk hits the stomach. The baby usually stops crying once the bottle hits the mouth. Y'all realize that, right? Before a drop of milk is even in their throat, the sensation of the milk in the mouth, in the bottom nipple to the mouth, the nipple to the lip is the first sensation that calms the baby down. So naturally, clearly not intentionally did we think about this, because essentially, even with the nipple, the oral stage, the baby is kind of taught to suck or chew to feel better. So if I'm 4 or 5 and I'm already liking snacks and cookies and cakes in these times, well, it actually makes sense. Because the likelihood that I was given a bottle at some point to emotionally feel better, or if I'm a whiny baby and I go to daycare, they're going to give me a sucker to stop crying every morning. Food was used to calm me down. So how can you tell me now I can't have a whole bag of Takis when you've been giving me food to calm me down? Some of us think we just woke up with PCOS and got overweight. My body's been prone emotionally to do that from day. And you know why it got worse with your PCOS? Because PCOS messes with your hormones. And when your hormones are off, your body and its nervous system is off. Some of us overeat because of nervous system dysregulation. So it's not actually the PCOS, it's the symptom of the PCOS triggering the nervous system dysregulation in your body, which is making you crave the desire to chew, because you chew to calm your anxiousness down in your body. Do you understand that? Huh? Because the only way food can get in your mouth is from your hand to your mouth. So you can have the worst case of PCOS in ever existed. The only way you can actually put food in your mouth to become any form of overweight, even 5 pounds, is you have to eat something. And unless food starts jumping off plates and jumping in our mouth, that requires you to pick it up and put it in there. Do you understand? That's behavior. Do you understand that, right? You do understand that, right? That's behavior. They're not the same. So when you say, can somebody help me? My PCOS is killing me. No, your habits are actually killing you. Because the dysregulation gets so high that the urge to chew to calm the dysregulation down is now a habit for you. So you naturally restrict, overeat, feel guilt, once for shame, restrict, overeat. So although you're on a journey, because it's so restrictive and it equals in binging, then purging. I can't say those words, they just gave me a thing. But it equals in this constant cycle. So you just go from the beginning to the end and loop back. Because no matter what, this is the only way food can get in there. So it doesn't matter what my brain tells me. It can never 100% be anything outside of me. Do you understand? So when you say it's 100% my thyroid, the devil's a lie. Who told you that story? Because how your thyroid eat food for you and then you get big from it? Because if your thyroid causes it, then shouldn't your thyroid be the only thing big, not you? And if your PCOS is the only thing at fault, then shouldn't it be your PCOS? Shouldn't your PCOS be overweight and you should be regular weight then? If it's your lupus, then your lupus should be obese. You should be thin. I have that. I have lupus in that photo. Antiphospholipid lupus is my diagnosis in that photo. That's my same diagnosis right now. Look at the difference. The only difference is how much I do this and what I do it with. I'm telling you. And it's how I think about this. See, I don't need to eat to not cry no more. I don't eat to fit. I don't need to eat the pain of not being wanted away no more. See, I don't need to eat away the trauma, the guilt and shame, the grief, the loss, the hurt, the rejection, the neglection. I don't got to eat it away no more. See, that's what I did. I came up with a strategic behavioral system, a set of strategies that's been used for years in my profession that I now use to help women learn how to look at food different. Because, see, you think it's about cutting out sugar, not eating meat. But if your actual emotions is connected to chewing, you can overeat healthy stuff. Why do you think there's obese vegans? If you think it's about being a vegetarian. If you have the capabilities to eat a whole entire bag of frozen vegetables and you call that dinner, that's still the constant chewing. It's still meeting the same urge as you eating a whole bag of potato chips. All you did is just went from it's the behavior. You think it's the item. You're still doing the same exact behavior. You just change the type. Because it's this that you got to correct. It's thinking this and this. The chewing is going to fix something inside. Do you understand? Okay, maybe. I don't know. Let's get everything. I was waiting for my team, but I don't know if I saw them. Should I start my live over? This says we're on daily punishment, daily nourishment. I say daily punishment. It says we're on daily nourishment. You guys, we're almost done with the book. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? That's why I was trying to wait for the ladies to get here. Because if you don't show up for the next few days, the book is going to be done when you come back. It's literally only 50 pages left, guys. And we read a few a day. Oh, mercy. Yeah, you got to definitely... Like today, this will be this. And then we're already to 138. It's only 180. Right, hasn't it been amazing? I'm just like, okay, our book's almost done. We got a plan. We need a plan, you guys. Should I start the live over, ladies? We got to come up with a plan. Our book is almost over already. I love it. I'm glad we did this book as a group. Right, all the way to the end. We only have 50 pages left. About 50. Yeah. All right, let's dive into it. TR, should I start it over? Hi, LaTanya. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. If you guys don't mind, do you mind tapping the like button for me and showing the live if that's okay? They gave us that red flag, so I was going to start it over because we had talked about me just starting it over when it does that. Okay, we'll just stay here. Okay, sounds good. Let me get it. Okay. Then I don't got these glasses, y'all, so I'm going to try to engage in... I thought I had a pair by me. I'm going to make it happen. Okay, we got this. So, today is 3.5. The last part we read on, I'm just going to go back and make sure because this book's so good. I'm going to start right here where it says, I'm going to go to right here. The moment we see God for who he is, we see ourselves for who we are not. And because of Jesus, because of what Jesus did for us and the grace he lavishes on us, suddenly the dangerous prayer of surrender doesn't seem so daunting. In fact, though still dangerous, it might feel somewhat inviting when God asks, who will go? Whom shall I send? Our immediate response from a forgiven and surrendered heart is fact-filled, fully available. Prayer, here I am, Lord, send me. Okay. We finished up where it says, you will see people who need encouragement, and his spirit will give you the words to say. You will see someone who has a need, and God will prompt you to meet the need. You will see someone who is alone, and you will show them God's love. You are his servant, available, eager, and ready to go. Okay? All right, here we go. Daily nourishment. We're going to move straight into it. Let's get it. But before you think you can pray, send me. It's always something with Craig, Pastor Craig. And be done. Let me warn you, this ain't a one-time dangerous prayer. You pray. And then you go on with your life. This is another prayer of daily submission to God. Search me, break me, send me, Why are these daily prayers? Because when you submit your life to Christ, your spirit comes to life. You are born anew, and your spirit is connected to God's spirit. From that moment on, there is a war going on within you. I'm going to read that again. Catch that. I did. Why are these daily prayers? Because when you submit your life to Christ, your spirit comes to life. You are born anew, and your spirit is connected to God's spirit. From that moment on, tap the like button if you hear me. Tap the like button if you hear me. From that moment on, I need to know you hear me. Do you hear me? From that moment on, it says, not me, it says, there is a war. W-A-R. There is a war. Wait. Let me get some water. I'm thirsty. I don't think y'all see what I'm saying. Going on inside, on within you. From that moment, it said the minute you say, search me, break me, send me, in that very moment that you align yourself with the Spirit of God, there is an immediate war going on within you. It said that. That means the minute you denounce the over-snacking, restricting, behavioral, dieting crutch that food and the culture might have on you in your life, and tell God to search you and find the errors and the rationalizations of your ways with food, break you from it, and then send you to help others, you're telling me that an immediate war is going to go on with inside of me, between me and food. My God. Somebody need to hear this. They don't know they at war. They think they in a walk in the park, and God is trying to tell them this is a war for their life. My God, get free right now. Right now. Hear me. Yep. You at war. You are at war with the behaviors and rationalizations and misinformation and unwillingness to seek a better experience in yourself, in God, and in everything you think you know, because self-will is a powerful thing. Self-will will lead you to believe that you don't need nothing, nobody, because you can do it all on your own. And you'll get started real good, and you'll get there real smooth, and you'll get it hopped off real soft. But the minute you hit a road that you ain't been down before, you're going to get leaky and weepy. And if you leak the wrong way or weep the wrong salt, somebody going to come for you like a vulture. See, it's all about understanding what is happening in the process, because it said there's a war going on within you. Meaning the war isn't out of you. You outside fighting sugar, butter, eggs, and milk, and you don't realize it's your emotional irregularities inside your own body. I'm cutting out sugar at 7 and don't realize that my trigger at night is because someone took my innocence at night. I think I'm craving sugar at night because I'm addicted to sugar. I don't understand that the addictive nature from the sugar originally was driven from my desire to feel safe at night. And since sugar makes me feel happy and the dopamine raises, it's created this sense of orientation that if I eat this at night, I'm going to be all right. But if I take it away, I try to go to bed early because, see, that feeling still comes back. So I try to sleep it off. But what's starting to happen is I'm waking up in the middle of the night hungry because I got to talk to that need. I got to talk to that need. It's not what I'm chewing, it's what's chewing me. The link's up, March 23rd. Do what you do. Get your spot. March 23rd, next week, 4 p.m. Arizona time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Masterclass 3. You and me. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let me show you what trigger equals what. So when you're in a cue stage, humming still works. But once you're out of the cueing stage of the craving and you're into the actual behavior, you gotta tap. the behaviors, each technique is cued in for a certain part of the cycle because of where it's happening in the center of the brain. There's things you do at the root of your mouth to try to help that vibration send that energy and calm that kind of ecosystem down. The nervous system, I call it the ecosystem because it's kind of the whole thing. You're trying to get to that. That's the goal, is to make that function in a more healthier, balanced way. Emotional sobriety. Okay. It says that the war is going in you. It goes on to say, Paul calls in a battle between your flesh and calls it a battle between your flesh and your spirit. By flesh, he's not talking about your skin. Paul is referring to our sinful nature. Your old nature wants to do what's easiest. That's some of our biggest problems. Some of us simply can't stay on a routine, our system that equals wellness or weight loss, because we want everything to be easy and fast. We got the hit it quick disease. We want to hit it and quit it. We don't want to stay around and do nothing long and strong. We want to nuke it. We want a 20-minute nuking out. We want a 30-second nuking out of that place. But what I'm explaining in this very thing is that you need a long process because you didn't get here overnight. Your actual brain's ability to have an urge to calm itself through chewing, it took some time to get there. He didn't wake up like that. So a lot of the self-blame, shaming, and hurtful things that you may say to your body about your size or your weight, well, you can dispel some of it because there is actually something happening in your brain. When we acknowledge obesity as a brain-based disease, it allows us to get this information. It allows us to better understand what's happening in our brain that's triggering what's happening in our body that makes our hand feed to our mouth. It says that your new and spiritual nature wants to do what glorifies God, and those two natures square off against each other multiple times a day for as long as you live. Paul described this to the Galatians, saying, for the flesh desires what is contrary to the spirit, and the spirit is what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with one another, with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want to do. The Holy Spirit inside you says, live for God. Your flesh says, live for yourself. When God calls that part of you that is selfish, says, like Jonah, Tim, I'm not going, or like Moses, send someone else. Okay. I done told Jesus to send somebody else multiple times. He keeps sending me. And I don't want to have to keep teaching no classes. That's not what I signed up to do this for, y'all. But the only way I can figure out how to get this massive amount of information in a classroom setting where we're using the techniques and you're getting to actually practice them in the space is to create classes outside of our normal hours. So that's why it's at 7 p.m. The investment that you make of $27, it's well worth more than that. And when you get there, you'll see why everyone that attends keeps saying, how do I get in that class? Because what we're doing in there is allowing you the neuroscience that you've been debating and wonders interacting in your body and causing issues, and it is. So what we've done is we've taken all those big old reports and terms and brought them down to basic information that's applicable to the food cycle and obesity culture and how we stay stuck in the cycles of this kind of repetitive, abusive, yet I can't say that word, ADDICT nature. Okay. So again, it says, Paul calls it a battle between the flesh and your spirit. By flesh, he's not talking about your skin. Paul's referring to our sinful nature. Your old nature wants to do what's easiest for you. Your new and spiritual nature wants to do what glorifies God. And those two natures square off against each other multiple times a day for as long as you live. Paul described that to the Galatians, saying, "For the flesh desires what is contrary to the spirit, and the spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want." The Holy Spirit inside you says, "Live for God." Your flesh says, "Live for yourself." When God calls that part of you that is selfish, says, like Jonah, "I'm not going." Hello? Or like Moses, send somebody else to do it. Hi, Serenity. Hey, Tiara. Send somebody else to do it. I will hurry up and say, "No, I don't think he picked me. He didn't text me. I ain't get no text messages. I know emails from Jesus saying that was for me. He didn't send me. He didn't send for me." I don't know what's scary, the fact that I'm serious, that I'm saying that I ain't going, that I'm serious that I ain't get a text message or email. I don't know which one is more true than the other, that he needs to personally invite me. He didn't come up in my crib and say, "You go, child." Now, I need personal invitations. I got issues with my brain. I talk to myself too much. I've even told myself to go somewhere I'm supposed to be. So I need God to kind of show himself when it comes to my callings. I can't have him to be back through the back door through an inclination in a moment where I'm sitting somewhere doing something that you talk about me. I told y'all these shorts was cutting off the circulation in my thighs, and I wasn't going to sit here uncomfortable. So I'm going to keep adjusting now. And then it's because I'm in this chair sitting up on this little cushion thing. But if I don't sit on it, I'll be short. I'll be short. So I got to sacrifice. So back to the moment at hand. But I've actually said multiple times on numerous occasions, send somebody else to do it. I didn't want the challenge. I didn't want to grow. I don't want it. Pick somebody else to do it. For years, that's what I said about this very thing I'm doing right now. I don't want to sit around and keep reading all this science trying to figure out why I almost ate myself to death and gained 389 pounds in 10 months. No one cares how it happened. Well, I do care. And there's a thing. There was something going on in my brain for me to be able to do that, like that, in that short period of time. And I've discovered it. And I guarantee you, what I discovered, so has tons and hundreds of other professional people. But the amount of lack of financial gain that is lost from the discoveries of what I'm speaking about is serious. Because what if it's not really about if the food is diet or not? What if it's really about what you're eating to feel? So if we simply disconnected that, all right, okay, come to the class. Let me stay focused. Send someone else to do it. He goes on to say, how do we live submitted to God when our flesh wants us living for ourselves? I'm stopping right there. That's tonight's question. You have to be taught for you to teach. Yep. Do you understand? This thing that said, how do we live submitted to God when our flesh wants us living for ourselves? How do we overcome our selfish tendencies and live selfishly for Christ? Because I guarantee you right now, and if I hadn't have been in selfishness, there's a whole lot of times where I wouldn't have eaten and purchased a whole lot of things. But I wanted what I wanted when I wanted how I wanted, because I wanted to feel a certain way about what I wanted when I wanted how I wanted what I wanted. I can tell you now that I sought them selfishly. I can also tell you that there was no selflessness in me seeking Christ either. I was seeking what I wanted when I wanted how I wanted. I wasn't praying my way there. I mean, I was probably praying that they wasn't closed when my midnight urges kicked in. That's probably what I was praying for. That those urges would stop. Or that the restaurant would be open so I could get what I wanted at the last minute. Those are the prayers I was dropping. It definitely wasn't set me free, break the bondage of food, take away the cravings, take away the urges, take away any emotional disconnection or emotional instability to connected to chewing of any kind, take away the urges or cravings or any feelings that my body likes about swallowing, chewing, tasting, anything. Right, praying to satisfy my flesh, not God. So we got to get in alignment and understand that food has been weaponized for us. That food has been weaponized and become a gap for many of us between our higher power and ourselves. And we have to bridge that gap. But we first must understand the behavior that created the gap, that even convinced us that food was a solution or some form of medicated support that could make the pain go away. How many times have you eaten something and said, oh, I feel much better after that? And you meant mentally. Right? So we continue to learn the patterns, see the patterns, and do our thing. All right. That's all I got now. That's it. God bless y'all. I got a message one of my clients before I forget. That's all I got. I don't want to cause too many problems. Sometimes I be talking too long. So it's only supposed to be 45 minutes. So we now open for questions right now if you guys are, if you're interested. I mean, ask some questions. You don't got to. You could just cover for the reading and then give your input on the reading and then we could go. You don't got to ask no questions. This is like not that type of, it's like not like, it's not what this is. You don't have to, it's not like a, I'm going to talk to you about one story and pound or how you need to count calories and eat fiber in your head. No. So it's okay. All right, we done? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get off. As I said, I was messaging one of my clients because I remember earlier she asked me a question. I just remembered the question. I don't like when my brain does that, but it does do that. I'll be starting writing something, and because sometimes I do have a lot going on. I've been living on because a month. I had to connect my faith to get through. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Oh. I think it's tons of us that are relating to that right now in real life. Like in real life. Like just enough. Like no food, nothing. That's why I always say you should never judge people that go to food banks because people don't realize that working class people go to food banks. Everything doesn't equal somebody doesn't have a job. Just doesn't. Okay? Sometimes we have to be sure we stay in prayer and stand in the gap. Because those things are real. Yeah. I've been thinking of you, sending you massive love and prayers. Because I've been messaging you, but just praying that God moves in a mighty way. Touches your heart and gives you the vision and wisdom to make the right next step that's best for you and your family. That's all we can pray for. Because we're not psychic, so we can't predict or pre-tell them what should happen. I mean, we can argue with them, but really, it's already predestined where we go next. So we might as well invite our Father in heaven to do it with us and for us. Alright, I'm gonna get back to work, guys. We're prepping for these events. It's up and coming. If you're in Arizona, guess what? You can meet me in person on April the 11th. If you are located in Arizona or the surrounding areas, we're having actually a meet and greet from 12 to 6 at the Phoenix Scottsdale Resort. The Holiday Inn Club Vacations Resort. We have one of their villas for like a week. So we'll be hosting an event, a private meet and greet. It'll only be 15 people, but if you followed me or you live near, please know that you have an opportunity to claim your seat ASAP. What is it about your brain that causes us to crave sugar after a meal? So sometimes you can actually eat too much salt, and that can cause you to crave the opposite. But for some of us, it actually is just that kind of that feeling of relaxation and completion that eating the sugar gives you. So it's actually, the sugar is the tool, but the goal that you're trying to reach is this sense of completion and calmness, excuse me. And so sugar typically does that because it helps to play on the dopamine center. Like sometimes we can eat something and it can make our cortisol level go up because it might be too spicy or too much or anything. But more than anything, when that dopamine is suppressed, because sometimes you can, like, say for example, if you, like, let me just give you an example. Say you overeat some pizza, you eat like 5 slices of pizza, and you just feel horrible about it. But you notice that you still want the cookie or brownie that you bought. And even though you can't eat any more pizza and you feel guilty, like that you ate all that pizza, you have room, you're able to eat the brownie. I think the reason why you can eat that brownie is because the depression or sadness or shame that starts to try to kick in from eating the food, the sugar high fixes it. Dopamine, when it's triggered, you can actually help it with a humming technique with the tongue at the root of your mouth, or you can do the EFT on the side of the temple, under the nose or chin, using your the quoted affirmations, of course, like whatever the brain is telling you. So so EFT training teaches you where to tap and kind of what wording lingo you want to use to trigger this relaxation to overcome the body through the tapping. Hey Ash, make sense? All right, y'all, that's all I got tonight, babies. I ain't got much going on. Just enjoy giving you guys the information. Yep, society's changes teaches us to crave sweets after a big dinner. Yep. So what happens, there's sometimes when we eat so much, we can actually heighten sugar, lower sugar, and then we be trying to balance it out. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Sometimes we overeat so much at dinner that actual thing that we eat afterwards is trying to balance out what we did with dinner. Our poor bodies. Yep, super addictive on purpose. On purpose, Polish, are you coming to the masterclass on Monday? My eyes kind of look red. Maybe I should go to bed after this instead of staying up and working a little bit more. Bye, you guys. Bye, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want to join us, you can come over to TikTok if you like. Have a good night. God bless you all. May God bless you and keep you. Don't forget to I rise, realize you are strong enough to win.